Hello and welcome to Code Along with the Code Whisperer, the show where you code along at home with me, the Code Whisperer. So today I couldn't think of anything good or creative, so I just went with the Codevember theme for today, which is rock. Now, most people decide to make something visual out of rock, but since I'm a music-minded guy, we're going to make a program that generates a rock and roll song. That's right, generates it using math and the power of metal. So, in case you don't know what a rock and roll song sounds like, let's listen to one. All right, you listen to that for a second. I'm drinking some coffee. So that's all there is to it. Easy, right? All right, so here we are in CodePen. I know HTML audio doesn't exactly work amazingly in CodePen, but heck, we're just gonna try it out as best as we can. We might evacuate from CodePen at some point. So let's get started, and we're just gonna get started. I want something that I can just make a tone. Let's make a general tone utility. Let's stand on the shoulders of giants here and use some code that I wrote for my Halloween song, CodePen, which is a favorite CodePen of mine. So does this still work? Ah! Okay, good stuff. So let's take this plain note code that I wrote, copy it in here, and now let's just delete the cruft. So let's get rid of this console logs here. The way we wrote it, we have to define all the notes at the beginning, but as far as I could tell, that's the only way we could get it to work in this environment. So that just might be what we have to do anyways. So let's make it like any metal song. Low C is the base of our song. So let's see. Music frequencies. 261.63. So const low C equals 261.63. So let us see if we can play that note. Seems to work. Very low, angry kind of music. So let's define a function called getNoteSequence, and it's going to return a rock and rolly sequence of notes. But for now, it's just going to return a series of low C's, since that's the note we have. So we'll say for 32, let's do a for loop for 32. And we'll make a variable here called sequence, which is an array. So we'll say if I is divisible by 2, then we'll push a low C into the sequence. And we'll just make a duration constant here. And if it's not, we're just going to push an empty space. So it'll be like an alternating of a note, then no note for about 8 beats. So we'll just push a one that has the same duration, but the frequency is 0. And then we'll return the sequence. Now let's try playing a note on get note sequence. Cool, sounds good to me. It's like a do 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 do. So that's already good. Let's see. What if we change it around so it's the other way? So if I is not 2. All right, that's cool. That's coolio beans. So now we got to figure out how to modulate our tone in a rock and roll kind of way. I mean, maybe we could just hard code them, or we could figure it out using math. Calculate music frequency. All right, so to make a music note calculator, we need this magic number, the 12th root of 2. So we'll define it here. Let pow equal math dot pow 2 1/12. And so to adjust the note up, let get note, and we'll define a number of steps above or below our low C. So we'll say return low C times pow, math.pow, pow and steps. So now instead of low C, we'll just push a get note that's I above, just to see if it works. And we'll just pass in frequency. Now let's see what happens. Cool. So now it does a friendly doop 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 sort of tone. Now we need to define all the steps in our rock and roll scale. So we know the first step is 0, and the next step wouldn't be 2 above like it wants to do, but just like 3. Boom, boom, sort of deal. So how can we associate each steps? Maybe we can calculate. Calculate a metal scale. Music. All right, let's just define it manually. So we'll say let intervals equal 0, 3, 5, 6, 7, 12. These are just your basic metal scale intervals. So let's just see what happens. So instead of steps, we'll say intervals steps. And since steps can go higher, we'll say steps modulus intervals dot length. So now it should be do 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 do. Should have a metally sound. That's what I'm hoping. So do 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 do. So that was kind of metally, but it was definitely the wrong number of notes. What if we do intervals length modulus steps? Is that right? Modulus is hard. It's really hard, everyone. Doop doop doop. Steps modulus interval. That's weird. Do 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 do. It should be do 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 do. Maybe that works. Let's add some more. Just a 10. Do 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 do. I guess it should be intervals plus 1, because 0 makes a... Crazy. So we're calling getNote sequence, which just calls getNote for I. So if we just return the value in intervals, but we skip this modulus stuff, all right, it's only doing it every other, so we can say getNote I divided by 2. And I guess we'll just use, we have this new math floor operator, so let's use it. Squiggle, squiggle, that makes it into a floor, which should give us a metally. Oh yeah, that's metally. Let's see now if we can do this this modulus thing, because I want it to kind of be able to repeat. Steps, intervals dot length. Great, so it just sort of repeats. What if we do plus 1? No, that's not right. Do 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 do. So that's cool. That's already pretty metal. Now let's see, what if we change this so we put this in round brackets and put a not before it? Great, so now the music is on the first one and the pause is on the second space. Very nice. Very nice. Do 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 do. It's already sounding pretty good. All right, let's just mix this up a little. Let's define a new function called getFrequency. Good work, computer. Good work. We're right there with you, bud. And so I'll just take this little bit of code here. So this will just return the appropriate frequency when you pass it the step. So now we can refactor this. And just call frequency passing in steps modulus intervals length. Does that work? No. Let's make this frequency intervals steps modulus intervals length. Something's wrong with our calculation. This frequency is much too high. What if we just return the frequency for just straight up steps? And it says that the frequency value is just too high. Let's put log here. Frequency. Steps. Pow. Oh, right, here we go. It's not low C times frequency steps. It's just frequency steps. Looking good. So that's right. Now let's change this to be intervals steps modulus intervals dot length. Nice. So let's put this here. Say let frequency equals. I'll return the frequency. No, this can't have the same name as this function. So that's cool. So now we want to make it just going up the scale, which is still kind of metal, but I want it to be more metal than that. All right, let's start with something simple. We'll say, all right, good work, computer, shut up. So we'll say if steps is equal to 9, only 9, and let's just make an interval here. Let int equal intervals 0. If steps is 9, int is equal to intervals 1. So only on that note, play the first note in the scale. And then instead of this code here, we'll just say let freak equal freak int. Now we should get all notes the same except for 1. Okay, it should be steps equals 9. Sweet, but wrong note. It should actually be 8 since we're starting on 0. Nice. All right, totally metal. So it's always going to play that note when it's on the 8th. Now let's do something a little variable if it's on the 4th. So we'll make it so that on the 4th step, it can either be the 5th or the 6th note. It can be either. So we'll say let bool equals math.random is greater than 0.5. And we'll say if bool int equals intervals 4. And otherwise, that shouldn't be equals. That should be just a single equals there. And otherwise, it'll be 5. And then we'll also do this on the one that comes after, which I guess is 10. Is that equal? Or 11? Whatever, let's just see how it sounds. All right, that's one too early. Let's make it if steps equals 1 and 2 and 3, 5, 4. Cool. All right, let's make get note sequence be longer. I'll just say v equals 32. And let's make this just, well, I guess 32 is long enough for now. And so if we double that, that should go twice as long. Cool, and it doesn't make the special notes on the second time around because we haven't programmed it to do so yet. So that's pretty good. You know, we can't get everything, so that's a cool sounding sort of thing that's going on. Now I want to add a bass line to our song, and how we'll just call it a day. So we don't need that, so we'll say const low C equals, and let's just look this up. Music frequencies. Low C, so low. It's got to be C lower than what we have. 130.81. Oh yeah, I guess it's just the one above divided by 2. Go figure. So we'll call this, and then right after this plain note sequence, we'll just call a plain note again, and we'll just kind of modify note sequence so it has a baseline mode. So we'll say base equals true, or just true. Yeah, true. Then we'll say note sequence, that's V. So we gotta have that argument first. Baseline equals false. So we'll say so I'll just make it simple. We'll say if it's baseline, so if it's not baseline, do the same thing as before. If it is baseline, we'll just say let frequency equal low, low C. And we'll push the low, low C to the song. So what happens when we add this baseline? So it makes this fast, angry note. Now what if we play them both? So that's pretty cool. Now there's just one thing left I want to do to make this up. Let's make the baseline rock. So if it's the baseline, let's update get note so we can pass a base to get note. Or we want get frequency there. We got some complicated code going on here. We don't want to make it too crazy. So there you have it, our rock and roll generator. It's not too complex, but it's also not bad either considering we made it from scratch. Let's just add a button so it doesn't annoy people who visit it. We'll say document.getElement, or no, let's add an onClick listener to here. I wonder if we can do that. OnClick equals play. Will that work? I think it won't work. Oh, it worked. So that's our rock and roll music generator. Let me know if you like this and if you'd like me to continue on this by building more and more elaborate rock and roll music generators over the course of several code alongs. I do want to hear your feedback, so let me know what it is, and be sure to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.